Hey everyone! Today we're diving into something that's foundational to our entire being, yet often overlooked: the skeletal system. You might be thinking, bones? Really? What's so exciting about that? Oh. But hold on. The skeletal system is not just a collection of hard structures. It's an incredible framework that supports our lives in ways we often take for granted. So, let's break it down, shall we? First off, let's start with the basics. The human skeleton is made up of 206 bones in adulthood. That's right. Just 206 pieces that come together to form this intricate structure that keeps us upright, allows us to move, and protects our vital organs. But did you know that when we're born, we actually have around 270 bones? As we grow, some of those bones fuse together. This fusion process is just one of the many fascinating aspects of how our skeletal system works. Now let's talk about the different types of bones. There are long bones, short bones, flat bones, and irregular bones. Long bones, like your femur or thigh bone, are crucial for movement and support. They act like levers, allowing us to run, jump, and dance. Short bones, found in your wrists and ankles, provide stability and support while allowing for a range of motion. Flat bones, like your skull and ribs, serve as protective shields for your brain and vital organs. And then we have irregular bones, which are, well, irregular. Think about your vertebrae, which protect your spinal cord and give your back its flexibility. But bones aren't just static structures. They are dynamic and alive. Bone tissue is constantly being broken down and rebuilt in a process called remodeling. This is where osteoblasts come in. These are the cells responsible for forming new bone. On the flip side, we have osteoclasts, which break down old bone. This balance between these two types of cells ensures that our bones remain strong and healthy throughout our lives. It's like a never-ending construction project, where old materials are removed and new ones are added to keep the structure stable. Now, let's not forget about joints. Joints are where two or more bones meet, and they play a crucial role in our mobility. There are several types of joints in our body, including hinge joints, like our knees and elbows, which allow for movement in one direction, and ball and socket joints, like our shoulders and hips, which offer a greater range of motion. It's amazing how these joints work together with our bones to give us the ability to perform complex movements, from throwing a ball to doing a cartwheel. And speaking of movement, have you ever thought about how our skeleton works with our muscles? It's like a perfectly choreographed dance. Muscles are attached to bones via tendons, and when a muscle contracts, it pulls on the bone, creating movement. This is why it's so important to keep our muscles strong and flexible, as they are directly connected to how well our skeletal system functions. Ever tried to lift something heavy? You know that feeling when your muscles engage and your bones support that effort? It's teamwork at its finest. Now, let's take a moment to appreciate the protective role of our skeletal system. Our skull protects our brain, our rib cage shields our heart and lungs, and our spine safeguards our spinal cord. Without this protection, our vital organs would be incredibly vulnerable to injury. It's like having a fortress around our most important assets. And let's not forget about the role of our bones in producing blood cells. That's right. Inside our bones, particularly in the bone marrow, red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets are produced. This means our skeleton is not just a framework, it's also a factory for essential components that keep us alive and healthy. Another fascinating aspect of the skeletal system is how it interacts with other systems in our body. For instance, the skeletal system works closely with the endocrine system. Hormones like calcium and vitamin D play a crucial role in bone health. If you don't get enough calcium, your body will take it from your bones, weakening them over time. That's why it's so important to have a balanced diet rich in nutrients that support bone health, like dairy products, leafy greens, and fish. Let's talk about some common skeletal issues. Osteoporosis, for example, is a condition that weakens bones, making them more susceptible to fractures. It's often called a silent disease because it can progress without symptoms until a fracture occurs. This is why it's essential to prioritize bone health, especially as we age. Weight-bearing exercises, a diet rich in calcium and vitamin D, and avoiding smoking can all help maintain bone density. And what about injuries? Our bones can be strong, but they're not invincible. Fractures, sprains, and dislocations can happen, and they can be incredibly painful. The healing process is fascinating, though. When a bone breaks, the body goes into repair mode. Blood clots form around the fracture, and special cells move in to start rebuilding the bone. It's a remarkable process that showcases the resilience of our skeletal system. So the next time you think about your bones, remember, they're not just there to hold you up. They're dynamic, living structures that work in harmony with your muscles, protect your vital organs, produce blood cells, and interact with various systems in your body. They deserve our attention and care. Let's celebrate our skeletal system, folks. It's a remarkable part of who we are, and understanding how it works can empower us to take better care of our bodies. So, keep moving, stay active, and nourish those bones. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, take care of yourselves.